informative, and just want you guys to be able to ask questions. And then we typically, you know, share some things about what's going on as well. So looks like everybody, we got a handful of people here, so we can kind of go ahead and just share maybe a couple of things that we wanted to give reminders about. And then once we do that, maybe that will have given people a chance to hop in between now and then we can open the floor to questions. So Dr. Grandel, what do you want to start with? Let's do that. What do you want to start with?
Yeah, I think let's start with the fun stuff. So if you weren't here last time, or you haven't seen any messages that have come out lately, we do have a new mascot. His name is Lucky. You can see him in my background there. Just to add a little bit of fun to even more fun to the Bingo Size program. We're hoping to have some things that to kind of coincide with Lucky as far as prizes go in the future. So we're working on some things there. So that'll be coming down the pike. Also, I wanted to remind everyone that we have all brand new material templates. So it's important to remember that you do not have to reprint everything. If you've got things printed out and you don't want to reprint, you don't have to, because the information is the same. It just looks different. We think it looks much better. It's more organized and clearer. It actually adds some additional instructions. I'm going to show you that in case you haven't seen one of those yet. So I'm going to show you examples from the fall prevention workshop. So let's start with a checklist. So we have a nice little checklist here that kind of helps you kind of go through the steps of everything that you're going to need for a fall prevention workshop. You'll see the same setup for the other workshops as well. There'll be checklists for you to use. This is the Fall Prevention Workshop Facilitator Guide. Again, you've got some nice checklist, table of contents. So you'll notice that we added table of contents to kind of give you an idea of what topics are discussed during each week. We also give you more of an overview, some kind of reminders that you might need to remember, remind you about your fidelity checks if you haven't done those during the first couple of weeks of the workshop. More information to get you ready to go. We even have a nice little, orientation to the actual workshop session, and then the session start. So you'll see this is session number 1. Again, we've got some nice checklists to help you remember, make sure you've got everything ready to go. Here is the script that for those of you who have been facilitating already, you'll recognize these scripts. And you'll notice we set up the actual sessions differently here to make it a little bit easier to follow. So as you know, the session starts with rolls of bingo, so it tells you to do that here. Here is one of the first questions. And then it tells you the exercises, gives you a description, tells you how long to do the exercise. And then over here, this is new. These are QR codes that you could use your smartphone just to take a picture of, and it'll take you right to that YouTube video. So for those of you who are using the traditional version, or even maybe the technology enhanced version of Bingo Size, you can use these to kind of help you run things. So
those are the same videos in the workshop if you're using the technology one that he is referring to. So the videos that pop up that you play for people to show the demo, that's the exact same video on the QR code.
Thank you. Yeah, they're not different videos. It's just different ways to get there.
Yeah.
And you'll notice these are the new take-home cards. We did this as a packet, so you can actually print the whole packet for them, and they could do each week. So the first part of the packet has all of the exercises that they would be asked to do throughout the weeks. Again, you've got QR codes they could use if they wanted to. So there's all the exercises, and then it goes to each week. Okay, so there's week number 2, 3, and so on. So there's one of these for each week's during the 10 weeks. We also created new certificates of completion. Okay, you have PDF version of this on the dashboard, and you could print these out, and you could put your bingo sizer's name on there when they've complete the workshop.
And we have that for all of the different workshops now.
Correct. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions?
Has anybody started using the new stuff? I'm curious if anybody here had already seen it or had by chance started using it. They're the same content, so like he said, you definitely don't have to reprint. He's already mentioned that, I know, but it certainly has a more appealing, hopefully more user-friendly format.
Yeah. And then I'll mention again the Universal Wellness Workshop. We've let everybody know that you have access to that now. Most people should already have it. If you're a new person, you definitely have access to it already. If you're someone who's been facilitating for a while, you probably have access to it as well. So check your dashboard before you reach out. And if it's not there on the dashboard, feel free to send me an email, and I'll be happy to add you so you can have access to that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about the brand guide, Christine?
Yeah. Yep. So we provide you all access with something called the Bingo Size Style Guide. It is in the marketing materials section, correct, Dr. Crandall? So
Yes.
It should be with the marketing flyers. And I believe we've also uploaded the logo as well now. So sometimes people ask for the logo. You should all have access to that in the dashboard as well in the marketing materials. And so one of the things that we love to get tagged in social media posts. I was actually going to share a cute little story that we were going to ask someone to go back and tag us in it because they had a cute little post that they did. There was a gentleman who was a good sport and wanted to, I guess he wore a tutu for bingo size one day, kind of in homage to the ballerina exercise that's on there. That was kind of like an inside joke at the location that he was doing it, and he was such a good sport, and I thought it was cute. And when she shared it with me, I thought it was really cute. But they put him on social media, and we're going to ask them to go back and tag us in it. And I share that just to say that we love when you guys post on social media. We love celebrating bingo sizers and all the fun that's had. We love celebrating your success and showing all the completion, right? Like when you guys have workshops that are wrapping up, or if you have themed days, if Halloween's coming up. So if you guys do anything fun and have people wear costumes, please take pictures, post it on social media, tag us. But there are just a few kind of like guidelines that we ask you to adhere to that are helpful from a branding standpoint, just to make sure that we're having brand consistency. And so we do have a style guide that you guys have access to. I'm going to share my screen and just pop it up here briefly. We're not going to like go through it line by line necessarily, but I just wanted you all to see it. So when you go to it in the dashboard, that you would see it. And, it just kind of gives you some overall guidance as to maybe how to use the logo. We would certainly say, if possible, anytime you're, putting something in picture format, or if you have a video, we would prefer that you actually have the real logo in like as an overlay to the video or as an overlay to the picture versus just like typing the word bingo size. That is the best way to do that by all means. And so we have given you guys access to this main solid bingo size logo. That's pretty much the main logo. And I guess there's a couple of other kind of like acceptable modifications, but we don't really use those. So we're going to stick really with that first option as to what's the best way to use it. But yeah, just wouldn't want you to modify it. I think that's the big thing. We definitely don't want you to like squish it together or squeeze it out. It's not a great idea to put it on colored backgrounds that, that go with the balls, because as you can see here, the N kind of gets lost when it has the yellow background. So just some little things like that. And if you guys ever have questions, you can always ask us. And then just some guides for if you are going to type it out, that, like we give some text recommendations, some color guidance, some picture guidance as far as if you were doing any kind of graphics. This is from like a Universal design standpoint, I think, as far as like making it most easily readable, understandable, that kind of thing. And then anytime you write bingo size, we certainly want the, the registered trademark to accompany that. So we just thought it would be helpful. We've had some people ask for these types of guidance, or ask for approval on certain things, and so it's just easier probably to provide this to everybody. And then if you ever have a question, just email me. If you're not sure if something is admissible, you can create your own flyers. We provide templates for you all, but you absolutely can use the logo and co-brand it with yours. You just want to make sure that you're using the bingo size logo appropriately and things of that nature. So if you ever have questions, certainly reach out to us. And then Dr. Crandall, feel free to add on to that.
Yeah, I want everybody to understand we're not trying to be difficult. This is a kind of a legal thing, because although I created bingo size, I don't own bingo size. The university owns bingo size, and they've kind of come down and gave us some rules that we have to follow. So we just we want to make sure everybody understands the rules, and we follow the rules so we don't get in trouble. So that's what this is about.
Yeah. And if you have questions, just ask us. Like, I mean, this is to make it hopefully easier, not more challenging. We're definitely not trying to make it difficult for you guys. We just want to make it clear cut. And again, if you have questions, just ask.
Yeah, don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to do it. We can always fix it. It's no big deal.
We'll figure out a way. But we want you guys posting on social media. We really, really love seeing that stuff. We love sharing your successes. We love sharing all your stories. That's kind of the, that's why we do what we do, right? Like, that's the fun part. We love seeing people who are doing bingo size, and we weren't able to get her here, but we have a 100-year-old participant in Ohio who's loving bingo size, and we're going to try to interview her and maybe share some of what she has to say. And we always want you guys to share stories like that with us, or if you have things that you feel like, hey, this is kind of unique and exceptional and we'd like to highlight it, please, by all means, reach out. We want to be involved and share all of the things with everybody.
Yeah, and hopefully all of you are already a part of the facilitator Facebook page. If you're not, please join, because this is the place where you're going to be able to see all the pictures and videos that people share. So here was a good one.
The shirts.
This was done over the weekend, so that was fun.
We love it when people show off their shirts, right? Like, that's obviously so much fun. Everybody loves the shirts. So
yeah, here was another great one. We love these group pictures.
Yeah.
There's another one with everybody with their certificates. So again, please do that. I love this one. This one's great.
Yeah. I feel like there should be some Halloween posts coming up, surely. If you haven't already, if you are doing bingo size currently and it's going to overlap with the weeks before Halloween, by all means, we encourage you to do fun stuff. Like, we encourage ad-libbing with the fun, not ad-libbing with the curriculum and the program, but to add fun on, right? Like, play spooky music if they want, have people dress up, have people wear black and orange, take pictures. Those are such fun ways to just add to the fun that's already there, right? So just as you guys are thinking about that, feel free to have fun and be creative with some of that stuff.
Loretta, I just accepted you into the Facebook group. Congratulations.
You're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of just, we didn't have a ton to share necessarily. We always just like to share kind of what's on the forefront. Dr. Crandall, did you mention the Lucky's promo?
No. Nope.
Do you want
That's
to?
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are doing, just keep in mind, as you guys, now would be a great time if you need prizes, shirts, anything like that. We have our e-commerce site. Will you throw that in the chat, the e-commerce website? Just so, I mean, you can just go to bingosize.com and then it's like shop. So you can get to it without having to have this direct link, but we'll put it on here. But we are lucky, our new mascot is doing a promo through the end of October. I think we started it like mid-September, early September, doing a promo through the end of October to just, incentivize you guys. If you need anything, now's a good time to do it. We wanted to just kind of do something exciting to introduce Lucky. So all the different curriculum reinforcements, the shirts, the bands, the balls, if you need extra bingo cards, if any of that stuff, now would be a good time to do that. But just make sure if you want to take advantage of it that you either use the promo code, and we can share that too, use the promo code, or like if you're, or email us and say, hey, I want to put an order in and I want to be sure to cash in on this. Because if if somebody orders and they don't tell us that, then we're going to assume that they don't, that they weren't here. You kind of have to know. It's like an inside scoop kind of thing. So we want you guys to have the inside scoop and get to take advantage of that if you have a need for anything. So just keep that in mind. Now is a good time to stock up on stuff. And people love the shirts. Like, everybody loves the prizes. Obviously, that's a fun way to keep people motivated, but for sure the shirts are kind of just something almost like above and beyond that the participants typically are big fans of. So keep that in mind if you guys are able to do something like that.
Janine just posted a question. Janine, go ahead and would you just say that to everybody?
So we can just ask Janine.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So we just purchased, I don't remember. I think we purchased maybe 100 shirts, if that sounds right. To be able to distribute over the next year. We just started our new fiscal year last week. So we got a variety of sizes, but I'm just curious if anybody has a fun way to give those out. I don't like giving out things the first session because there's always people who might come once and then never come back. So I kind of want to dangle a carrot, if you will. Keep them coming. If you attend the first 5 sessions, maybe I'll give you the shirt. Or and then I was thinking, well, what if I gave it to them on the last day as part of graduation?
Yes, that's a good idea.
And I kind of want them to be able to wear the shirts when they come to class. So is there, I'm just curious if anybody's done it differently, if you give them at a halfway point.
I've recommended doing drawings, like lotteries. And so like every time they attend, they get their name in a hat, and then you could just draw as you wanted, right? So like if and obviously your odds are better. And so you could, after the first 3 or 4 weeks, you could draw a couple names. And then at the end, you could draw a couple more. I don't know, like if you're not going to give it, some places buy them and then plan to give them to everybody who completes, right? That's certainly one way to do it. That's one way we've heard, where it's an incentive to complete. And if you complete, if you get to the 70% or more and you come at the end, then you get a shirt. That's certainly one way to get people to the finish line, to incentivize them to get to the finish line. But I think a lottery would be, if you wanted to do it more sporadically and you weren't necessarily going to give it to everybody, I think a lottery could be a good way to do it. And then if anyone else has done something, by all means share. But those are just kind of like my suggestions if I were doing it.
If I add my 2 cents, I think the using them as an incentive to complete is a big one. I mean, that's a pretty big prize, compared to everything else. So I think that would be a really good incentive to get everybody complete. But I do understand it is great to have everybody in those shirts, because that is a really good motivator for them to be there too. So that would be my first option, would be the completers. But then, the lottery would be a good idea. Give them as a prize specifically. I'm sure other people have got other ideas too. So I'd love to hear what other people are doing.
I actually don't recognize most of the names today. So I feel like, are most of you new? I'm curious, like raise your, you can use the hand function, because a lot of times we see a lot of repetitive names. Loretta, I know your name for sure. You've been around for a while, but some of these other names I'm a little less familiar with. So I'm curious if anybody is fairly new to implementing bingo size. If so, maybe just throw your little hand icon up just for the sake of knowing. If not, that's okay too.
Looks like everybody's been around.
Everybody's been around. Okay. I always work with one person typically, so I don't get to see a lot of the facilitator names. So it's always good to see new names, whether they're new or not. So anybody else have suggestions for anybody else ordered shirts and had success doing it one way or another? No.
Well, hopefully that helps a little bit, Janine.
Yeah, it does. I will also say, my most requested prize is the toilet bowl lights.
I tell everybody that. They're such a hit. I don't get it necessarily, but man, people love them. Love a colored water in their toilet, right? I'm joking. I'm joking. Obviously, I do get it. It's a great fall prevention tool. So I'm being funny, but
Interestingly enough, though, I have a friend who has an adult child who has an intellectual disability and has issues. It's a male, has issues toiletry. She has used the toilet bowl light to help keep things a little cleaner. Let's put it that way, and it's worked fantastic. She loves this toilet bowl light for that reason. So it has multiple uses.
yeah.
If you want to get some more of those.
We've heard other feedback from people at like at NCOA conference and stuff, Dr. Crandall, from people who had similar instances with that. They work great for like kids with intellectual disabilities, or for people of all ages to have something fun, or to use it for the nightlight, basically, like from the fall prevention purpose too. Yeah. If you've run out of toilet bowl lights, now's a great time to get them and use Lucky's code to get some more, because I always tell people those are the first to go, probably, if you let them pick, right? If you let them pick, those probably go first of the prizes. Well, other questions about other things? Certainly doesn't have to be about these types of things. Anybody have questions about implementation, recruiting, anything? Because that's basically, these are kind of like ask us anything. These are a great way to ask us and your peers. So if anyone else wants to, feel free to change the subject. If you have a question, unmute and ask away. Or put it in the chat if you're not able to unmute for some reason. Look at those. Who wouldn't want a toilet bowl light?
With all those different colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show the toilet bowl lights for those of you who may not have seen them, but also I wanted to also let you know that Elizabeth, who they haven't met, she's helped you guys along the process. She helps us with, what does she help us with, Christine? All of the.
So she's kind of the technical assistant. She helps with all the training admissions. She's the one that sends you guys your registration links, adds you to the dashboard. She helps oversee fulfillment, things like that, kind of the behind the scenes things.
She is now, when she is working during working hours, she is on a live chat. So she can actually help you if you have questions, particularly the technical questions and things like that. If you want to do a live chat with her, she can actually share her screen and show you if you're having trouble with something. She can use that chat function to help you. Of course, you could still email, but that's just another way that you can communicate very quickly with us during business hours. If it's after business hours, you just leave your name and email and she would respond there. Anything relating to pricing and those kind of things would still go to Christine. But if you're having any other questions, that's a great place to get answers.
And email still works perfectly, like you said. So that's just an additional tool for you guys.
Exactly.
So use what is best for you, whether it's this or email or whatever. We're here for you. We're testing out what's going to be the most helpful for people. So by all means, you utilize that if you guys have questions. Is there a certificate for the part? Oh, okay, there we go. Is there a certificate for participants that don't attend all classes? There is not. Yeah, because the goal is really to get them to complete. So obviously we hope that they're having fun if they're not able to commit, but the goal for us and for them is really for them to commit and get that 70% completion rate, because although if you're doing one of the health education workshops, they're obviously learning information, but they're not getting the ultimate full benefit of fall prevention without consistency of the exercise. And we definitely, don't want, I guess we don't, in a way, we don't want to incentivize not completing, right? And that would kind of, I feel like it would be a little bit of a mixed message, or one of those, like, I don't know, like a participation trophy in a sense, if everybody got a certificate, whether they completed or not. So Loretta is asking about, are you allowed to purchase bingo prizes outside of the website? We do bingo a few times a year, and while the prizes are good, she knows a few of her Pick Your Elders will have some comments. Are you able to like pick up things from Walmart and stuff like that? you can supplement. We obviously love for you to use our stuff, and we've tried to make it very convenient now so that you can just buy individual things from us. If you just love toilet bowl lights, like you could come back and buy 10 toilet bowl lights from us. And then if you needed to supplement with external sources, you can do that. You can solicit donations from your community, right? Because we understand that sometimes people might have branded items with your company's name on it, or your health company. If you work for like healthcare, you could have other things at your disposal. So, you know, a mix and match is allowable. But we hope that some of the stuff that we provide is stuff that they enjoy, and we would like feedback too. If there's always balance, but we would love feedback if there's certain things that, you know, maybe are less desirable or more desirable. And, you know, we're here for you guys. So we want to make sure that people are enjoying it and feel value from it. So by all means, feel free to give us feedback. Send us an email sometime, whatever. We're always open to that stuff. Other questions or thoughts? Dr. Crandall, did you want to add anything, or?
No, just open it up for
anybody else. Like I said, anything goes. So doesn't matter what your question is related to. We're happy to address it. And if no questions, that's okay too. We just want to make sure that you guys feel supported. And hopefully you guys, I don't know if you regularly attend these, our goal is sometimes there will be repetition with these, but our goal is just ultimately for you to know that we're here to support, right? We don't ever want you to feel like you're on a bingo size island. We're always an email away, but we feel like sometimes this is a great way to interact live with us and your peers. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these and finding that these are helpful.
Are there any specific topics that you think future sessions like this would be good to cover? Like specific topics? Like a couple of months ago, we did one focused on using the web-based app. Anything specific that would be helpful for you?
And if you think of something later, email us, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously we're putting you on the spot, but if you think of something that you feel like would be a helpful topic in the future, by all means, share it now or later. And we're happy to add that to a list. Because again, these are for you guys. So we want to make sure that you feel like you're, getting your questions answered. And if you think of stuff, a week out from one of these, by all means, we can pivot and add it in. So always communicate with us if there's things that you want to see covered. Dr. Crandall, are there any other, I'm trying to think, we're always working on like new updates and things like that. So we'll try to keep sharing, our goal is to keep, creating new content, things like that. And so as we do that, we will try to share with you guys as far as that goes as well.
If you are relatively new, you may not have heard about the diabetes management workshop we are working on now. That should be done
6 months or so?
6 months or so from now. Yep, we've got all the content. We're vetting all the content with our expert advisory board. We're going to start piloting it. I think we started actually last week piloting it. So once we piloted, got all the kinks worked out of it, collect all of our data, we'll reach back out and let you know when it's going to be ready. I think that's going to be a very exciting workshop for people. It's very needed. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are
something that I just thought of, Dr. Crandall. You don't have to answer this now, but I think someone asked me this and I wanted to ask you. So you don't have to answer it on the spot, but think about this, and then we can always report back to them. And maybe you already know this answer. Is the diabetes management strictly for like, once you have diabetes, here's how you manage it? Or will there be any like diabetes prevention education built into it as well?
Well, obviously all of the information that's going to be in that education piece is focused on how to deal with diabetes. But at the same time, if you don't have diabetes, let's say you have prediabetes, all of that information is going to be helpful to keep you from getting full-blown diabetes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I mean, anybody could be a part of that, because it's going to talk about, nutrition. It's going to talk about the exercise piece. It's going to talk about medication management. All the main topics that go with diabetes management will be there. But it would also be helpful for somebody who's, you know, susceptible to it.
Gotcha.
It's pre-diabetes or whatever. So
I forgot to tell you that Elaine asked me that when I met with her, and Elaine from Age Guide had asked about that. And so she was very, very excited. I know a lot of people are very excited about the diabetes management workshop because that's going to be important.
Good.
Important information. So excited to wish that wasn't an important topic, but since it is, we're happy to create some content for you all to share. So excited about, you know, adding more ways to give back to the older adults and help teach them valuable information to age well longer. That's the goal.
And that workshop's going to be a little shorter, actually. I think it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, so stay tuned, and as we have things, definitely we'll share those things with you all.
Awesome.
Okay. I think that doesn't seem like any major overarching questions this time, which is fantastic. Hopefully that means everybody feels comfortable and confident implementing. Feel free to share success stories with us, posts, all that stuff. Like I said, that's certainly why we do what we do, right? To help people, and we love seeing the outcomes. Let us know if there's any topics you want to see covered. Let us know if you have any questions, and then we'll do this again next month.
Great. Thanks,
and then
everybody.
we're going to start posting these, correct? We're going to be posting these. We're recording these and posting these to the facilitator dashboard or the facilitator Facebook page, correct?
The YouTube page.
To the YouTube page.
It'll be there, and I will post it to the Facebook page as well.
Okay. So if ever you see something helpful or if somebody asks you where they can find that, we're trying to make that more accessible as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, everyone, make it a great week and stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Loretta. Always good to see familiar names and not faces, because no one's faces are showing,
Right.
but you know, familiar names.
For sure. Have a good day, you guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
You. You can stop the recording, I think.
I don't know how I do that.
I think there's a record button at the top that you can